Hi, I'm Victoria Ballou. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to do a reading suggested to me by one of the subscribers to my channel. And it's a very important question that I would like to dive into. So I am here with you to answer the question, will the U.S. go to war with either Russia or China? This is something that I am guessing that we are all concerned about. So we're going to take a look today and see what the Rider-Waite-Smith deck says about that. So we're going to begin by pulling the first card, and I'm going to use the Celtic spread. So here we go. The very first card that comes up is the Queen of Cups. This speaks of the U.S.'s position right now, which is using its intuition, its feelings, the deep feelings of where everything is, where everything appears to be going to the best of the government's understanding. So it's using this intuition and it's bringing forth a lot of emotion. There's a lot of emotion involved, of course, with the Queen of Cups. This is where the U.S. is right now. So it's a tenuous place. It has the ability to tap into its intuition and actually is using it, which can be a real asset at this point. So let's see what energy is crossing this Queen of Cups right now. Well, I'm not surprised to see this. It's the Ten of Swords, which of course represents a feeling of just despair, of being in a place where things feel out of control, where they feel desperate, where they feel in very much a negative sense. This Ten of Swords represents the absolute pinnacle of defeat that I'm sure the people of Ukraine are fighting against right now. And it is so indicative. Let's take a look at this card again. This is so indicative of war, isn't it? I mean, this is war, the epitome of war happening. So the cards are tuning into this, and this energy is very powerful. So this is what's crossing the U.S., as well as here's Liam crossing the table. Say hello, Liam, and go on. Thank you. So here we have the Ten of Swords crossing the Queen of Cups. Indeed, the U.S. is very concerned about what's going on. There is a lot of emotion involved, and that's what we're clearly seeing with these two cards. Let's look a little bit deeper. Well, we have the Eight of Cups. Again, another Cups card is coming up. This one is reversed, and it speaks of the sadness. This is the subconscious energy of what is happening in the U.S. right now, and that's that deep sadness for what is happening in Ukraine. This speaks of it right here, and the unsettling. This speaks of feeling unsettled. This speaks of having to look for any sign of hope, because from a heart perspective, there is a lot of sadness that is represented here. And in this position in the spread, this is saying indeed that this is the subconscious energy that is pervading in the U.S.'s attitude, their feelings toward this war. So let's take a look at what is happening further. Well, it's the Knight of Pentacles coming up. This speaks of energy of a person being irresponsible. This is absolutely the energy of irresponsibility coming to the forefront. Now, this position in the spread speaks of this is what has brought us to this situation, irresponsibility. This is how the U.S. is looking at it. that something irresponsible, a person being irresponsible, has created this situation. And of course, the Knight of Pentacles represents material aspects. As you see him standing here on the land with his horse, this represents land, it represents money matters, it represents material aspects. And that is the energy that has brought us to the place that we see here with this despair, with the energy of heartbreak, and with the energy of war. Let's keep looking to see what else is going on. Well, it's the Three of Cups, absolutely representing happiness here. This is the goal, this is the aspiration that the U.S. has for an outcome if it were to wave its magic wand. Thank you, Liam. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're here. If the magic wand were waved, the Three of Cups is very much where the U.S. would like to see this end, which is happiness, which is something that feels good. Of course, this is the goal. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's going to happen, because we need to take a closer look. So let's continue. Well, here's the Devil card coming up. This speaks of materialism. This speaks of a desire for material gain. This is an outcome card in the near term, and it speaks directly to someone being greedy, to greedy energy that is trying to, that is focused on materialistic gain. And so this, in relation to the question that we're asking, is will the U.S. go to war with either Russia or China? It's saying that the U.S. is viewing what's happening right now as someone being greedy and trying to be focused on materialistic gains, and in not a good way. Sometimes we can focus on material gains and it is positive. When the Devil card comes up like this is not positive. This is speaking of greed, of gluttony. This is not positive energy here. It's also how the U.S. is looking at what is coming up in the very short term. Let's keep looking. We have the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords represents clarity, the beginning of clarity. Now, this is in a reversed position, and it is saying that clarity, while it is recommended, the tarot is actually recommending this clarity, it's going to be delayed. The U.S. is going to be delayed in the clarity that it is hoping to gain about this situation, about the war that's happening right now, and about the way to handle it going forward as regarding Russia and China. There's not a lot of clarity here, and the tarot is asking for that clarity to come forth. And hopefully that will come. So let's look deeper. We have the Knight of Wands coming up. Now, the Knight of Wands is all about movement. It's all about dynamic energy going forward. This is in the position of an external influence. And so this is saying that the potential exists for action to be taken in a very positive direction. Now, being a reversed card, this is also speaking to the necessity of this action to be taken. The Knight of Wands reversed also represents a sense of restriction and despondency. And so that's also something that we must factor in to what this card is saying, that not only the U.S., but the rest of the world is feeling this sense of restriction, is feeling this sense of depression about what is going on. And therefore, this is the energy that is moving forward right now. Let's continue our look. We have the Page of Cups coming up. He is in the reverse position, and yet at the same time, this is assistance being offered. The Page of Cups represents help coming, help coming from someone younger, and this is a hope. This represents our hopes as far as how the U.S. is looking at the situation of potential war coming forward, and that is that they are looking, we are looking in a very hopeful way going forward with assistance. And perhaps this is assistance from other nations. Let's see this final outcome card and see what, maybe we can get some clarification on this. Well, it's the Chariot. So this is a very good card as the outcome, because what this is saying is victory is going to be ours. This is saying we have to stay the course and remain determined and seek the outcome that we desire. Now, I believe the outcome at this point that we desire is for peace to come once again to the region of Ukraine, and for us not to be engaged in war with either Russia or China. This Chariot card is saying that if we stay the course, that victory will be achieved. This is a very positive sign. To answer the question of, are we going to go to war with either Russia or China, I'm going to say no. At this point, it looks like we will not, because of everything that we see here. Even though it's very devastating what is happening, this Ten of Swords energy, so completely devastating and filling our nation with this despair that we feel, this heartbreak that we feel, and that we recognize that this is all coming from an irresponsible position, an irresponsible energy that has created all of this war and despair. We're nevertheless looking for this hopeful outcome. We're looking for a joyous outcome. And we recognize that going forward, the immediate outcome is for more of this greed and more of this energy that speaks to materialistic gain that's not good, that is not on a healthy scale. That is the short term. Let's be very clear about that. But long term, here's the Chariot that speaks of staying the course, staying determined, and that victory will be ours. And we see that we're trying to move into the realm of clarity here with this Ace of Swords, but that we feel this Knight of Wands energy reverse says that we are feeling restricted and despondent by everything that's happening, and yet we have this hope for this new fresh energy coming in. I'm going to say that it looks very good in the long term. We are going to have to still deal with what is obviously this devil energy moving forward for the short term, but as it all plays out according to the cards in this spread, it will work out in a very positive way if we stay the course of being determined that it will turn out in a positive way. And I believe we can all contribute to this energy by lifting up in a very heartfelt sense to create this sense of determination, this Chariot energy of staying on the right path. And by doing that, of seeing the course of victory at the end and peace returning to this region and to all the world, let's lift up that energy. And each and every one of us, by contributing with those thoughts, with that spirit, we do help. I know that we do. And that's what we need to do right now. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know if you have any other questions that you would like to see readings on, because I really do appreciate your comments and want to make sure that we stay tuned in to what's really important and what's going on.